What is the dumbest thing someone has ever said to you, seriously believing it to be true?
We were playing some 20 questions game once, and the question was, which weights more, a pound of feathers or a pound of bricks? To which my friend scoffed and said, "Is this a game for toddlers? It's obviously bricks." That one took a long time to explain to her. She was pretty good at laughing at herself, though.
Working in retail, and a customer came up to me one rainy day and said in a very angry tone, "What is that noise? You need to tell your manager to fix whatever that is." "That noise is rain," I replied. "It's raining outside, lady."
We were in the car and an ambulance passed us with the lights on. My friend turned to me with a very serious look on her face and asked, "If you were a blind and deaf car driver, how would you know to pull over for an ambulance?"
My high school girlfriend asked me while we were driving once, "How do the police know how fast we are going? Does the radar gun look inside your car and read the speedometer?"
I used to work in a kitchen, and one of the pot washers was cleaning a slicer and not exactly being careful. I showed him the correct way to do it, so he didn't cut any of his fingers. With a straight face and complete seriousness, he told me he didn't care if he cut his finger off, it would just grow back, like a lizard's tail.
I was once told that drug dogs at airports were addicted to the drug they were looking for. So each airport has a heroin dog, cocaine dog, and so on. This person was a university graduate. I noticed to him that I wouldn't want to deal with a German Shepherd on meth. That sounds frightening.
This happened one night at the bar I work at. I got a ticket for 2 Chardonnays, one with ice and one as it's supposed to be. There we go. 3 minutes later, this lady storms in with 2 wine glasses in her hand. "Look at this," she says, and somewhat slams the glasses onto the bar. I am a little in shock that the glasses didn't break and did as told. I looked at the glasses. Yes, 1 Chardonnay with ice, 1 without. I asked, "What's the matter, ma'am?" "Why did she get more wine?" she asked, annoyed. "More wine?" I asked, surprised. "There's not more in either one. Both have 120 milliliters exactly, right as it's supposed to be. Would you like some ice too?" "But that one is fuller," and she points at the one with ice. "Yes, it has ice in it," I replied. "Why does she get more wine with the ice? Why don't I get more wine? Look, this one has that much more wine," showing the difference between the glasses by pinching her fingers. Well, you get where this is going. The lady didn't understand that if you fill 2 glasses of wine and add ice into one, the ice will make it look fuller, but that's just because the ice takes up space. I had to literally show her that it was just the ice, making it look like the glass is fuller. Even then, I think she still thought she was being mistreated.
You should get off your tablet while it's storming. Lighting can travel through the Wi-Fi and shock you. My mother. Later I was told that more than once as a child by my parents and other people's parents. I'm sure it comes from the days of corded phones. You could possibly get a shock from one of those in a lightning storm. That thought process carried over to cell phones, which is ridiculous, and I've actually met people who believe it.
I've been a cook for 15 years. One time a server asked me to rush a chicken breast she forgot to ring in. I said, "Okay, it will be a few minutes. It's still a bit raw. Just give it to me, it's fine," she says. I tell her I don't feel like giving anyone salmonella poisoning today and she will have to wait. Her jaw drops and her face turns red. She belligerently shouts just to give it to her because she's losing tip money, then adds, "Besides, people don't get salmonella from chicken, they get it from salmon. You're a cook, you should know that by now." Every person in that room did the slow neck turn of, "What the heck did I just hear?" and just stared at her.
I was once asked to make an omelet without eggs. It was one of those restaurants where you order directly from the cooks. I confirmed with the guest at least 3 times. Had a feeling that he maybe didn't know what an omelet was, but I just had to see the look on his face when I poured a handful of sautéed veggies into his plate for $6.99.
I used to work at a call center for a wireless service provider. A woman called in inquiring about how much we charged to use her phone when she was traveling internationally. I said it depends on the country and asked where she was headed. As serious as can be, she responds, "Wyoming." I barely got to my mute button before I erupted in laughter.
My sister-in-law had her credit card shut off when she visited me in Alaska. The reason the representative on the phone gave her was, well, you need to get prior approval if you're traveling internationally. The rep thought Alaska was in Canada.
In 2005, I worked customer service for T-Mobile. A customer called asking how to change the film in her camera phone. She was dead serious.
So I was on the phone with those scam guys who try to tell you they work for Microsoft to get you to download their shady programs and take your money. I was messing with the dude, playing dumb, telling him I have no idea how my laptop has a virus. He assured me it did. So I continued to tell him that my laptop was actually still in the box, and I haven't even turned it on yet. Then the guy comes back with, no sir, the virus isn't in your computer. The virus is in your internet. I ended up laughing in his face before telling him I couldn't continue the conversation and hung up on him.
After traveling around the U.S., I've found that I have very little confidence in our education system. When I was 19, I went to New York City for a college trip. We stayed at a decent hotel right by Times Square. I went to the lobby to cash my traveler's checks, and the woman working there asked for my license. So I handed her my Wisconsin license. After inspecting it for a while, she looked at me very suspiciously and asked what country I was from. I thought she was joking. I said, Wisconsin state is in the U.S. It's in the Midwest. You know, Wisconsin cheese and all that? It borders the Mississippi River. She responded, well, now I know you are lying. That's in Egypt. She actually got a manager because she thought I was trying to pull some kind of theft operation. The manager rolled her eyes and told her to go on break.
A girl I went to elementary school with was completely convinced that birds were immune to electricity because they could sit on power lines and not get electrocuted. We had a talk with a firefighter in elementary school, and he shared that at least a third of the class were completely convinced that the reason birds don't get electrocuted when sitting on power lines is that they have special electricity-proof pads in their feet.
I heard two girls talking on the bus to my class. Girl 1. Let's go to Hawaii this summer. Girl 2. I wish. I don't like to fly though. Girl 1. It's fine. I think the bridge is almost finished. We can just drive. These girls were students at a university.
My uncle used to tell us that the earth is flat and the edges are covered in heavy layers of snow that no one can cross. He also said that the moon landing is fake, gravity is fake, and airline companies are in on a conspiracy.
When someone said their food was too hot, a friend said to put it in the microwave on defrost mode to cool it down.